Hey everybody, PKO Gamer here, and I saw this topic talked about on my buddy Nick Whaley's YouTube channel. It's brand new, and again, you've seen him and I stream a little bit. We don't get into streaming much anymore, but he started a new YouTube channel, and he's done a little bit with it. He's got a good idea of showing 15-minute game impressions, get a game, some cheap stuff off Steam, and like, boom, let me show you what it's about. Start and play it and see, is it worth it? When you start off that first 15, 20 minutes of a game, you're like, okay, this is great, okay, this is a pile of crap. It's really good. And he talked about this topic, about digital games and media, because Ducktales Remastered is dropping off all the major digital outlets like Steam and Xbox and everything else. And he had a good discussion. Then I wanted to chime in about it because it's something that's always been one of those things that pick in the back of everybody's mind. I buy a movie. I buy a decent amount of movies on iTunes. You might buy them on Google Android or Google Play Store, PlayStation or Xbox or wherever. Hell, Vudu, or go straight through the Roku channel. Roku channels of buying stuff, but you own it up there, but you don't really own it here. Looking at some examples, of things that I've bought recently that you can't get anymore in these forums. And I'm a horror fan, and I got Second Phantasm on Blu-ray. This thing is $40, $50, $60 on Amazon from secondhand. Because this printing no longer exists. At least no longer is being made. It exists, and I got it for $15, pretty much brand spanking new. Then this one, Dawn of the Dead, by George Romero, they're no longer printing these. Okay. So I wanted the Blu-ray, and they're hard to find and everything like that, but I just ended up getting a really nice DVD copy from this store called McKay. We say McKay is around here, even though there's no S. And the point about that is that, things are not, sorry, my eyes are itching, just allergies and crap. Things that are made physically, they're gone after they're made. You don't go back and say, well, you need to print more of these. Well, we don't have the rights to make the disc. I don't care. I want one. No, it doesn't work like that. It doesn't work like that. But since something is sold and made in mass, it's out there. Now, of course, if it's a very limited run, especially like with muscle cars or any type of antique cars, antique anything, cars are a big thing, or, just something that's a limited run, then it becomes more expensive because it's out there. It's never being made again. Or if they even remake it, it's not the same. It's not the first run, and you have to pay so much money for it because people know it's wanted. When it comes to video games, you can still own stuff like Knights of the Old Republic 2. And yes, I can get this sucker to run, where it's got multiple CDs, and somewhere in here, let me look real quick, and I will show you, but I have a CD key, Yeah, they have a CD key in here, and you just plug it in. I actually don't know if this one has a CD key or not. I think you just plug it in and run. But some of them I have still that have, honest to goodness, CD keys. They still work. I don't have to go to a digital store. There are digital versions of this. Hell, this is out digitally on and iOS devices. You can play it on iPad, but that's always out there. But when digital goes away, we can't get it. Now, people say, well, I can make it work through cracking stuff, hacking. And the thing about it is that I'm going to take this discussion and real quickly talk about no hacking, no breaking DRM. DRM, which keeps us from using said media, whether it be songs, movies, TV shows, games, whatever. This is not just about games, it's about everything. Because if you go onto Steam here on a computer, or Xbox Marketplace, PlayStation Store in there, or Nintendo eShop, your account's in good standing. You own digital rights or personal licenses to play certain games you buy. You don't own the game. And I saw some comments in my Stadia video about, it's no good, it's crap, I'd rather own and have that code on my hard drive and I own it. I'm like, no, you don't. You own a license to play that code. If your account is locked, and I know Steam, looking at Steam, I was researching this a little bit before I came down here and made this video. You could do family sharing. Let's just say, no, you don't share it. You have a single account. You're not sharing it with anybody else, and that account gets locked. And to say Steam does not want to give you, move your or move your purchases and transfer your things over, you lost them. So did you really own that code? No. Now, maybe in a lot of circumstances, maybe it gets locked, gets cracked, they get hacked. They'll just say, okay, here's all the games you had. Here's a new account, and they transfer. I mean, a lot of these companies are going to try to work with you. But I'm talking about, say you did something stupid and you got caught hacking or cheating and they banned your account on anything. Xbox, Sony, Nintendo, Steam, Ubisoft, Bethesda. You lose that game. I'll have a right to it. And you had a right to the license as long as you had played or used that license within their EULA, if I can talk today, End Users License Agreement. So unless you buy something that's DRM free, like Good Old Games, then you own the code, but of course you don't own it to hack it and do everything else. I mean, I know I'm getting into stuff. I mean, I've hacked games back in the days to add skins and stuff like that. But I mean, you don't own it. It's not your game, but you do have the right to have that code and you can play it any time. And I'm going round and round circles maybe to some people, but the point is a lot of people confuse, I own a game, it's on my hard drive. No, you own the license to the game. That's it. I own this game, the copy. I don't own the rights to do anything against the law, against the End Users License Agreement. I can't copy this and then distribute it, but I own this. I can put this in my computer, and I have done it before. Install it, make it work. You have to do a little bit of changes because it's an old game, and you just make the thing work, and I can play it anytime I want. If you are behind DRM in the marketplace of any type, you don't own anything but a license, and a lot of people really need to understand that. And if these games start getting pulled, and Cyrus Martin did a video a while back, last year I think, and he was showing games on his Xbox Live, gone. I have had this happen on my Apple account. There was this little shmup, and it's actually everywhere. It's been on Xbox, everything else. Death Smiles. It is a completely Japanese anime style shmup, and I just picked it up and tried it, and I got it free through Apple, and it no longer works because the game was never updated by the developer past, like, I think iOS 11 or iOS 9. It's something. And I just got a new iPhone earlier about a couple months ago to upgrade finally, and I can't download it. It would give me an error. Of course, at the same time, in that situation, I'm looking at Apple. You could go back to these old games and just kind of make them work, but that's a whole nother subject. But I can't get the game now. Now, in that one, I mean, maybe it's still out there. I haven't looked. Somebody can go look here after this video. I might go. It might be there if you can run it on an old device. But I had another app. I just saw it. It was a little picture editor, and it actually had, when I was recovering from my new iPhone, it was there, and it said this is no longer available. Okay, it was a free app, but it can happen. It can happen with apps, movies, music, TV shows, games. We don't have it anymore. And going back to the Stadia discussion, it is an interesting idea. I'm really looking forward to the possibility of Stadia with a 1080p version, or the account being free. Just have to buy your games, but it's still not going to solve the point of what if Google doesn't want to host your games. This is a problem. I think legislature, and I hate to say the word legislature and talk about laws, needs to step in. If we buy something as a consumer in the United States, I live in the United States, I can't talk about evil of the place, you have the right to that, as long as if it comes down to something like they have to get rid of the movie due to it was made illegally, then every person's original cost should be refunded to them. That's the only way to do it. Well, I don't want to hold that movie on my servers. Tough shit. One person in one little area in the United States bought that movie. You have to keep it out there. That's the way it should happen. And will it ever happen that way? I'm not sure. But I'm coming up on 10 minutes here. What do you think about digital games going away? Digital anything. Do you like digital? Do you hate digital? But do you understand also that if you own digital through DRM, through some type of storefront, you don't own it. You own a license, and it can still go away. Do you think this is right? What do you think we ought to, what do you think the laws should be like this? Again, it's just an open discussion. I want to see what everybody thinks. I appreciate everybody watching. Again, go find my buddy Nick Whaley. Give his YouTube channel a look. It's very, very new. I think he's got a lot of potential doing some really cool ideas like that 15-minute game preview. That was interesting. I didn't think about that. He thought about that. Good stuff. And give him a subscription and tell him I sent you. And, give him ideas for games. He'll be out there playing games if he can find them for you. He's probably got a huge backlog of Steam games he could play and give people impressions. All right, everybody. I appreciate everybody watching, and just let me know what you think. Picky Old Gamer, out.